Is like I was a big part of I was a big fan of that whole idea of the states where if you're gonna get an abortion they have to like show you the baby in a fucking
Are you talking about like when a dog kills a chicken and then they just like put the chicken like around the dog's neck and make it like, you know, walk around with it for a week or something? We did that to one of our dogs one time.
Does the dog feel bad about it?
Yeah, because they're not allowed to eat it and they just have to like snip it and just have it be there, and it's like it's bad when they kill it basically. Yeah, it seems kind of fucked up in retrospect. I mean, but that was an old farm trick apparently. You could just apply.
Sure, man. I mean, like, well, it's a dog at least. You know, like it would be really fucked up 2021 if it was like a baby or whatever, and they're like, quick, kill the chickens.
Yeah, that's a parallel I took immediately. Was like, are we gonna make like women hold their little aborted fetuses in like jars and wear it around their neck or something?
Dude, I bet the strongest abortion advocates fucking do that. They just have like a little bit of viscera that they swirl around.
Just like
they would probably like it. Like there would be a lot of people that would get an abortion and they're like, yeah, I get to wear it now. That's great. That's my kink.
Yeah, no, it would literally be like, I'd give it 10 years, dude. They're gonna fucking give those out at Planned Parenthood. Like, you want to keep yours?
Oh, yeah. Like how you can keep the placenta, you know, at the, hospital. It's like, oh, do you want to keep your fetus?
Like, children's teeth and shit.
That would be great.
The Hypnotic or whatever, the fucking glitter swirly stuff too in it. It's just like, I would just plop the brains in there and you shake it up.
Have either of you guys seen The Brood? That David Cronenberg movie where she eats like her fetus's head like an apple?
I think the only Cronenberg I've seen was not Fly, Scanners, and I didn't really like Scanners.
Oh yeah, Scanners is actually kind of dog shit. I saw his most recent
Scanners
movie.
Is dog shit. Like it opens up with a pretty good for the time head explosion, and it just goes downhill from there.
Isn't Scanners about aliens?
No, it's
I don't
about
remember
mind control.
I thought, yeah, it's about mind.
It's just mind control.
They were given this ability to just like bzzz at people, and then they make their heads explode.
You've probably seen the clip of the guy's head exploding.
I know the exact one, yeah, because I think I have like a frame-by-frame imaging of it as like his head explodes.
Yeah, that's the best part of the movie, but the rest of the movie is really boring. Apparently,
yeah, and that's the very beginning of the movie. That is the very they never go to that level again.
Yeah.
It's not like fucking Space Truckers where they start out with fucking robots vaporizing motherfuckers, and then when the robots come back, they just vaporize even more, you know?
And then introduce your main character by him putting mustard on a hot dog, but like putting the mustard into free space, and then the mustard is like a little wiggly line, and then he just plops it onto the hot dog. Great scene. Actually, it was a perfect way of setting up the character and like the zero gravity stuff.
We're at risk of like making this too much of a dick suck podcast because this movie ruled.
It sucked. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that, Dwayne.
I loved this movie.
Yeah, no, it's a good movie, but there's the last 30 minutes of it are pretty weak.
It's a classic scenario where it was really cool in the beginning and they had like this cool premise and all this cool shit happening and it looked good and it felt good. And then just like fucking boom.
Except this movie's way better than us.
That's the thought that I had on this movie. This movie was like the fucking like this is what camp is like should be. Because like it was, if you go back and watch the rest of the movie, like it's campy and corny, but like it isn't so campy and corny. It like walks that line so fucking closely. But like it's not so campy and corny that you actually don't give a shit about the characters. And by the end, it just like you realize how campy and corny it is. But it was that way the whole time.
It doesn't have any wink things.
Trying to go whole hog.
Yeah, no, there's not the closest thing they have to a wink like nudge kind of thing is when he's starting up his like fake dick and he's like a lawnmower and he's like woof.
That's not the closest thing because there's a lot of dialogue too. There's a lot of fucking like corny one line. There was a line that fucking like tripped me up for like 10 minutes of plot. Because, like, they fucking, like, went in to, like, the fucking, they go into the place where all the robots are near the end, and he brings out his flashlight, and he's like, this isn't really built for deep space, and the other guy says, like, oh, it's more of a reading under the covers kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's such a fucking weird line. That's only there because it's campy and weird.
Yeah, no, that was the case.
It was good. Dialogue's fine. A lot of it was especially in the, I fucking love the language they kind of came up with where it was like, shut your teeth or whatever.
Slam your teeth. Slam your teeth.
Slam your teeth.
Yeah,
Like,
that was a good
that's
line.
a good line. I was like, that's a really good line.
Well,
Shit.
it has
Fucking-
it has a classic, like the way they approach like the dialogue and the characters and all that stuff.
They
It's
feel
like
like
very
truckers.
classic. Yeah, well, and it feels like it could have been straight out of like any eras with. I don't know. It's very like conventional with like you have this strong trucker. He doesn't really have any faults except for he's like too arrogant and too like just win.
Yeah.
He's too independent. He's an independent contractor. He's the classic guy. Yeah, and he doesn't stray away from that.
And then he
character at all.
ends up with a magical hot wife himself. Like he was.
Oh, yeah.
That
and
was
like he
so
fucking
funny,
like
actually.
just the whole way he just like trucks his way to victory at the end. Like it's a great movie. This is an incredible movie.
He trucks his way to victory at the beginning, and then it's just kind of them sitting around for the
A
rest
lot
of the
of it.
movie.
It's
Yeah.
them getting hot, and then he goes and checks the stuff. And
Those
then,
are cool scenes though. Like as far as like
Yeah.
space movies, I haven't seen particular scenes.
Nah,
exactly
they
like that.
They started way too strong in this movie.
It
That
was.
fucking space station was awesome.
The middle chunk of the
way that-
movie, yeah, nothing happens.
Oh.
There's nothing.
I
Really
I
too
was
interesting.
benefited because the way I watched this movie was I watched it in 2 chunks. Yesterday I watched that exact first 20 minutes of the movie, and I came in with them getting ready to leave on their adventure. So I was like, all right, it's like I had a different vibe coming into both sections.
You have like this big rotating or whatever. It's
That was
a big
great
ring
set.
of a
That big
restaurant.
fucking 2001 thing.
That was a great
And they
set.
did so well.
Yeah.
The camera trickery is great, like because it actually like curves the set, and then they just have like people on different tiers,
Yeah.
and it just the angles, and then like the lady that they fucking like finger bang the mouth to make her into a keypad so they could go into the escape pod.
that was a great. This
Awesome.
Yeah,
All
that
of
was
it.
straight. That was like some. What's that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? The one where he's in space. Yeah.
Recall.
Total Recall. Yeah, that looked like the lady in Total Recall, or it was like that kind of like plasticky kind of thing where the
Yes.
face just comes apart.
That was-
I'm pretty sure this was after Total Recall, I guess.
They
but-
slam it back down.
Yeah, that's some of the best stuff in the movie, and you can tell a lot of their budget went towards that. And
people
then,
getting gooed.
yeah,
All the
it's like if the movie had kept up with that momentum, where it was just weird thing after weird thing happening, it would have been a lot more fun. But like, I guess when they get on the ship and when they escape, less weird things happen, and then it becomes more just like very, very plot motivated, and it's not as interesting. Like, and
very
you have this,
realistic.
like I don't know what it was. Like I wasn't even fucking like I didn't even like smoke weed or anything when I watched the second fucking half of this movie. I was like the soberest I've ever been. But like I was watching it and I was like fucking. I thought that like the way it was paced, if you actually just let yourself get sucked into a space drama, man, like this was like fucking like Star Wars level
Okay.
quality to me.
I have literally
This was
been
good
spending the
shit.
entire last week watching nothing but space drama from around the same time. It's called Farscape. It's about a 1999, 2000 sci-fi. It's Star Trek. It's a Star Trek ripoff. So
Yeah.
I have been like just fucking balls deep in sci-fi space dramas. This isn't a good one. This is it starts
I
really
wouldn't go
good.
that far. It's a good
It's
one.
not a good
it's not a.
drama.
It is kind of, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a good drama, and as
the
far as
character
you want.
dynamic between the 3 leads is corny, but like
Yeah.
it's actually
Like,
legitimate.
I had myself feeling like, oh, Dennis Hopper actually, like, I want to see
He
him get
loves
the
her.
girl, but at the same time, like, it really would be better if she went with the younger
Yeah,
guy.
and then he
When I
comes
start
in and
thinking
just like fucking
that,
straight up, just like
Yeah.
does like the good guy. Literally, dude. Like maybe it's just because I'm so strapped for good guys being allowed to be good guys and badasses being allowed to be badasses. Maybe that's all it is.
Yeah.
Because like if you watch like Marvel or Disney or any of this fucking shit, like it's it's not allowed to happen anymore. This was a movie where the dude was just like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna sacrifice myself and shit.
I feel like this was
Yeah.
a thriller and comedy first, and then they kind of like shoehorned a lot of the drama in later, especially the whole part about like his fiance, the chick, her mom's like got frozen, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, perfect. Now you also get a love
nah,
interest
you
at
can
the
fuck
end.
That was
her.
awesome. That was awesome.
I liked that
It
too,
was-
actually.
it
It was
was
weird,
set
but I
up.
liked it. It was,
They is
no,
sexy.
it was weird. Like, there's lots of, that's just Stuart
Oh,
Gordon. Like, the director of this always has he has some weird shit
Fuck.
that he always sneaks into a movie, I feel like. And because there was that, and then also, like, the chainsaw penis thing, that was straight out of, like...
That was a great joke.
That was
was a
great,
great
and it reminded me a
Because
lot
like
of,
that
like,
scene is actually like
Reanimator.
legitimately kind of disturbing before that, and then just like
Yeah.
that's
It
a
was
good
good.
joke.
I
That's
They
like
have
that
Bacardi.
actor, too.
On that
Fucking
show,
man,
too.
man, that guy, I cannot recall where I've seen that guy.
He's been
Like,
in
he was a
stuff
bad guy
before.
in something.
Yeah.
What?
He's been
Is he
in
the
stuff
bad guy in Howard the Duck? Is he the guy that's all the child porn?
What do I know him from?
maybe.
Cats?
He was in I don't know if you've seen this, but he was in Godzilla, the
Nah.
Godzilla versus Ghidorah movie, the new one. He was like the eco-terrorist scientist in that Godzilla movie. I remember that.
And he's also does he have a chainsaw penis in
No.
this one too?
Yeah, it would be great. He wants to fuck Godzilla, so he just like has this big prosthetic like chainsaw penis, and he's like, "I'm
God,
gonna
hold him
fuck
down,
Godzilla."
Professor. I'm gonna fuck him with my radio.
I feel like he was in Star Wars or something.
great.
Like I saw him in something, like some big shit. It might have been Indiana Jones or something. Just like some like he was a classic villain in something.
Charles Dance is his name. Let's see, what was he in?
It's tough because like the last part of the movie, his face is all fucked up too.
Oh, he was in Game of Thrones. That's probably where.
He was
That's probably where you
fucking
remember
Tywin.
him.
He was Tywin Lannister.
Yeah.
That's how I fucking know him. There you go.
What character is that in Game of Thrones?
Tywin was Cersei and fucking the Lannisters' father.
Right.
Oh, shit,
okay.
yeah,
That's
that was
coming back
Tywin.
to me now. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why his face is so
There you
familiar.
fucking go. I knew he was like a classic thing.
Yeah.
Pepper Boy. He looks very well now. He looks a lot better than he did in this.
Yeah, no,
He was also in
especially
Last Action Hero. He was one of the bad guys in Last Action Hero. That makes a lot of sense too. Okay, yeah, he's just got a classic bad guy face. He's a really he's a fun actor.
And bad guy voice. Dude.
Swear.
That was actually how I recognized him before
Ginger.
anything else, because his voice is great and super
It is.
recognizable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, and Dennis Hopper's great. I like Dennis Hopper a lot. What's the guy's name? The young guy.
The guy or
Mike
the girl,
Pucci.
both the other characters are both good too. Like I don't know
Yeah.
their names.
It was
Mike Pucci, I think. Is it
Stephen
no?
Dorff.
Mike
No,
Pucci's
because I knew
name.
it's Stephen Dorff. I knew it was somebody that was somewhat famous.
Steven Dorff.
He looks like a.
He was like an action movie star. He's been in a ton of action movies, basically.
He
looks like he's an
fucking
NSYNC.
True Blood or something.
Kind of.
True Blood.
He was
Maybe.
like- True Blood. Maybe I feel like, oh no, he was in Blade. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
I remember
I
him.
saw him
from
like
Blade.
a comic.
I was expecting, the more boy band into that one. Blade, that's a weird place to find yourself, I guess.
Yeah,
See-
I mean,
Yeah.
there you go.
He looks like. He also looks like the guy in the Matrix, kinda the ratty one.
You know who he looks like? He looks like the Deep from The Boys.
He kind of does look like the Deep too.
I don't remember what that. Oh wait, okay, yeah, that
Fish guy?
Yeah, the fish guy that rapes that, or tries to Me Too somebody.
Mouth rapes.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Thank you, boys, for bringing back the term mouth rape. That we lost that one for a while. Now it's
Yeah.
Back
Hey,
again.
in
You
my
gotta put
world,
mouth
it
rape
never
on
went
here.
anywhere. In my world, that word has been sticking.
That's on my mind 24/7. Actually.
top of the list.
It's mostly on my rap sheet.
I mean, just because we're talking about mouth rape, you heard about how Ethan Ralph mouth raped somebody, right? Right, Brant? You ever hear
I
that
still
one?
have on down the Ethan Ralph.
I'm just
Yeah,
bringing
I
up
was
things
just
I
thinking about
can.
that too. I was just
Yeah.
thinking about Ethan Ralph
Oh!
myself there.
Yeah. Come on, deep it. Come on.
Yeah.
How much can
Come
you
on.
fit in your mouth?
I want that stick to get to the back of your throat. Come on.
He's
Give
got
the
to
fans
got-
what they want.
I got
Give the
circumcised
fans what they
first.
want.
At least you're not
Yeah.
doing like fucking. At least you're not doing like.
I don't
did
suck.
you ever watch? There was a meme.
Don't suck
It was like a
uncircumcised cock.
fucking shit like NBC tier meme back in the day, but it was Eric Bana, the actor Eric Bana, who played Bruce Banner in the Ang Lee Hulk movie, and he played Hector in Troy. That there was a meme, a shit meme from like 2010. There was Eric Bana eats a banana. There was a website where they have footage of Eric Bana eating bananas, and he went on fucking Kimmel or some shit, and they gave him a banana, and he fucking pussed out and just like took off the tip and just ate it like that, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's fucking
What a bitch! It's a
What a
banana.
bitch. Dude,
Yeah.
if that happens, you just
It's
go.
just fiber.
chomp, chomp.
Yeah, it's just fucking fiber. It's not gonna fucking kill you.
Just smush.
It's just
it
for the
against your face.
photoshops. It was because of the photoshops.
Is he gay?
Yeah.
Is he black?
He could have eaten it in
No,
bites.
he's a white guy.
It would have been a
He's like
Chad move
Italian.
to just rip it up with your hands into bites and go.
Should like just
go
smushed it in his
fucking
hand.
You should
Like,
just fucking like just grab Jimmy Kimmel by the throat and just shove it.
Yeah, when we really get down to it, I think everyone
This is the
wants
real
to see Jimmy
man
Kimmel
show.
get his fucking throat slammed by a banana. That would be great. Eric Bana slams. Yeah. Actually,
Jimmy Kimmel deserves to be like just punched at least. I don't really know much more than him.
I hate
Like
Seth
maybe he
Meyers
doesn't
the
deserve to be
most.
killed.
I fucking hate
He-
Seth Meyers. I want to
Seth
punch
Meyers
that guy
is
in
the worst.
the face.
Seth Meyers,
So
like,
bad.
dude, I fucking watched the first, like, inaugural, like, 15 episodes of the Seth Meyers Tonight Show because I was super, like, I was a big fan of him on SNL. He had some of the fucking funniest one-liners, and I was like, this is gonna be a great show. And I watched fucking like 2 weeks of it, and I realized this is just, this is an
bad.
awesome.
Oh,
And that
Joe
was before
Pera.
he even got crazy liberal. That was back when he was just trying to be funny and have that fucking face.
well, and speaking of like people that we'd all want to like just kill in a dark alley, me and Dwayne were talking about this actually, Brant. If I was gonna kill somebody in a fit of rage, I would stomp their face. Like it'd be unrecognizable goo.
That's
Dwayne
weird.
says
I've
he
been thinking
drowned
about this all
somebody.
week. I've been thinking about
Were we
this all
talking
week
about
too.
this?
Yeah, what do you what would you do? What's your fit
I
of
would
rage
put my
violence?
knees on their shoulders and I would just beat their skull until it was a fucking stain on the ground.
Okay, so like the hand version of
Yeah, I would just beat them to
unrecognizable goo.
death.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's.
Or if I had a big rock. If I had a big rock, I would do the same thing, just with the rock.
I think it would be really satisfying to just like, especially if I had some nice boots on, to just like fucking just slam down, one after another, and then you look down, and you're like, oh, I don't see anything there anymore. I think that'd be fine.
Goo.
Just goo.
That would take a lot of stomping. I don't have the cardio for that.
Yeah, I'm just being more like until their face is like just like unrecognizable and like I beat them to sleep and that's like, you're all right, you're done.
Yeah, and then you just got a husk down there, and that's
Dwayne,
kinda
your
disturbing.
arms are kind of short. I feel like you'd have a hard time drowning somebody. You'd have to like really get your body into the water because
No, I just like you
can't
put a
just
knee in
like.
the chest. You put a knee in the chest, and you're in the like because like I
Really?
have short
Really?
arms and short legs, so I'm very centered. So I can just like put a knee in the chest and just like fucking hold them down, you know.
Okay. I mean, as long as you think about it, because
I will
just
attest,
going
he's a-
first.
Yeah, no, it's all about thought. It's all about thought.
Yeah.
Dwayne's a bastard to fucking push around if he doesn't want to go someplace.
Yeah.
Have you
well,
tried to shove me to
He
places?
has a center mass.
Yeah,
that's
just-
I don't deny the
Remember
center
when we did the
mass
Ghost
of Dwayne,
Show?
but he has T-Rex
Oh yeah,
arms.
no.
Yeah, you were actually fighting me the whole time in the ghost show, and I was like, "Oh, that's right. You're a wily little bastard. You're a raccoon given a
Dude,
human
I ate
form."
so much
Mm.
100-year-old dirt, so much like oil-ridden 100-year-old dirt. Cut
That
it
explains
out.
a lot. Explains
cut
a
They
lot.
cut-
out. They fucking
every-
doused me with a gas can that they didn't even rinse. They were just like, fucking, this looks old.
All of that hard work got cut, and you know what stayed in? Like 3 shots of the dude in that top hat, and one of them was like him swinging the cane, the other's him sitting down, and then the other one's him pouring the stuff. That's it. That's all they kept.
And what was
Man,
this
I didn't
again?
even
I
make-
missed that. What is
That
this?
was a ghost show. That was a
Ghost
that was a
show,
ghost show that we like. It doesn't matter if we mention it, but it was a ghost show that we worked on.
Fucking awfully run. Good
Yeah.
God.
I mean, it's a
Really
ghost
great,
show. Those
really
things look
incredible
really
production
bad.
manager though. One of the greatest production managers of all time.
Oh yeah, he
Shout her
kept
out.
that shit together and somehow running. And CD, actually, everyone besides
do a ghost
producers
show.
were great.
I want to watch a ghost show on this podcast. Honestly, that'd be kind of fun.
Wow, it's crazy you say that. I guess we're talking about the next. I guess we're done talking about space truckers then. So
No, we're
let's
not
go
done
into-
talking
No,
about
we're not.
space
I feel like we haven't even.
We
There's
barely
probably
touched the
space
surface.
truckers.
Okay,
So,
don't,
the-
if you're talking about your next week's movie, don't say it yet. We're saving that till the end for all the people that are on the edge of their fucking seat. We have to. You can't just like spill out all the fucking information right away.
I feel like our podcast is specifically marketed towards people who've never seen movies before, but think they sound interesting. That
yeah.
one guy keeps watching.
I like books, but it'd be great to
It might-
just see the picture.
It reminds
Space
me of
Truckers
I
sounds
saw
interesting.
something where it was like guy who has only seen Boss Baby, or his only movie that he's ever seen was Boss Baby, and he's like watching his second movie and he's like, wow, I'm getting a lot of Boss Baby vibes from this. Feels a lot like
dude,
Boss
can you
Baby.
show off your shirt, Cats? Can you show off your shirt? I just noticed what it was. What is this shit?
It's
Looney
just sad,
Tunes.
folks.
Sponsored by what?
What is it? It's not sponsored. What does it say? Super special? I don't know. Something like that. What does it say?
Super
Super Sadical?
Oh,
I think
Super
it's
Sadical.
Sadical.
Okay. There you go.
Supers.
Yeah, this is like one of those shirts that you get at like a t-shirt stand at the fair or something.
Yeah,
Well,
that's not like quite a hot topic. It's like
No.
it's like some
It's
guy
worse.
who definitely didn't have the rights. left.
That's
Yeah.
Spencer's.
No, that's why I
a
say
Spencer shirt.
no. It's not even a Spencer shirt, Brant. Just admit it. You would buy this. It'd be it'd be with a Calvin peeing on the ground shirt. You know.
Yeah,
a bunch of
yeah,
bullshit
like
that
Jordan
people don't even have the
Peterson
rights
smoking
to.
a
And like the
People
Cookie
remember?
Monster.
Yeah.
and-
You might see it at the
Frickin'
mall.
great.
You might see it at one of those stands in the mall. Like, I've seen so many, like, Let's Go Brandon iterations at the mall.
It's
It's
so
great.
cool though, because like those guys totally do not like. I just love the fact that they can just do that in like a major center.
It's always a different
They
person.
have no
too.
rights to the media, and they can
They're
just
always
do that.
different,
I
but they're
love
always
that.
Mexican. I notice that every time I'm in that mall. It's like, you're a different Mexican, but it's always a Mexican selling those shirts.
Generally, it could be an Indian also.
Really? I haven't seen the Indians.
Yeah, our mall has a few Indians. Like, it's always, at least, it's always Indians, like without a doubt, doing the phone stands, honestly. It's almost always Indians. I'm serious. Like, even the one at Missoula Mall, I'm pretty sure, is an Indian guy doing the phone stand.
It's like
But-
nail ladies. Like they're just things that
They're
like
always
suck
Korean,
you in
yeah.
based
There's
on your
constants.
face.
Yeah, there's always like, the universe is nothing but, like, constants. It's just a self-repeating cycle.
What are jobs like other than like running the world? What are jobs that like only white people do? Like what's a
Trucking.
job, like a menial job
Trucking.
that only white people do?
Trucking is probably-
Trucking's a good
No,
answer.
Mexicans
I feel
love to
like
truck.
the South
There's a lot
is
of
loaded with black.
Mexican
Really?
truckers too.
I guess so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah. Coding? I mean, no, because that's not true. That's like a lot.
That's all
Asians.
Indians.
That's all Indians and Asians, probably.
HR.
Cheese makers.
HR. HR is close, but brown
Asians.
women.
Asians can do
Asians
HR.
and there's also like sassy brown women in HR a lot of times. So.
Yeah. But the difference with the sassy brown women is they don't care about you.
Generally not.
I
Karens
know.
are honestly the worst.
Cops
Yeah,
that
no,
will actually
Karens
go to
like
jail
pretend to care
for
about
shooting
you.
a black
That's kind of
person.
worse.
That's the only thing white people can be.
Being the guy, getting in trouble. Yeah, white
getting in
people
trouble
make
for
up.
shooting.
Yeah, white people
Yeah,
make
no,
up
cancel
every
comedians.
single.
Only
Yeah.
white people.
Only white people. People who get in trouble for shooting a black person. Only white people.
That's only.
Yeah, no, exclusively white people.
Everyone's like,
Or at
whoa,
least
whoa,
it's
whoa, wait.
popular.
Oh, wait, he's Asian, guys. It's
Oh,
fine. No, it's cool.
well,
It's all
Could you
right.
imagine
I
if
don't
during
know.
like the Will Smith, Chris Rock slap, Never Forget, like could you imagine if fucking Will Smith was a whitey? Could you
Oh,
imagine?
man.
That
It
was
would've,
Chris Pratt and just said, fuck you.
That would have been white supremacy, reincarnated on the silver screen. I mean, I don't think our honestly, it would have been like another January 6th.
Yeah, no, Marlon
probably.
Brando would have had to send up at least 3 crying natives to like counteract.
Marlon Brando just like rolls in his grave, and it's just like a mass like pile of oil, probably, but like somehow it summons some
Sparked out a
Indian
bunch of
demons.
fucking spirits.
I guess
Yeah,
all the space truckers were white. No, there was like 1 or 2 black guys, but
there was
those-
Yeah,
one
this was
black
back
guy
when you
on the
didn't have
team.
to stick a couple
Yeah.
inches to keep
The
people
crew.
or to keep people from not funding you.
What does space truckers remind you guys of? Like any other movies come to mind when you?
Fucking Star Wars, dude. Like this
Really?
was fucking
I mean,
Star Wars.
a
This was
little
like
bit.
the most. I have not seen a movie since Star Wars. Like
That was Star
space
Wars.
movie that had that vibe.
lot of
Of just
Star
like,
Wars
fucking,
vibes
we're
from
just,
this.
we're just gonna tell a campy story, and it's gonna be awesome, and we're gonna give a
I've
shit.
only seen Star Wars, but I'm feeling like this is a Star Wars movie.
This is kind of like giving me Star Wars vibes on it.
You know the other one I thought of though, Cats? I don't remember the name of it, but it was a movie you showed me where it was it was like a fucking like I think it was Space Cowboys or something. It was in black
Oh.
and white.
Yeah,
Is that what it was called? Space Cowboys?
something like that. I know which one you're talking about. Space.
That was a good
yeah,
movie.
whatever it was. Space Cowboys. Yeah, no, it was. I think it was.
That reminded me of that one. Like without
No,
as much
not
like
Space
of the
Cowboys.
David Lynch. Like this was that without as much David Lynch and
This
was
just-
more for the guy who made
Space
Ram.
Cowboys is a Clint Eastwood movie. I can't remember what that fucking movie was called. Man, okay, that might be a podcast one someday. Honestly,
Yeah, find
was
that
a
out
fun
because that was an
movie.
interesting movie.
I have it on
That was
digital.
like that was
somewhere.
like if Eraserhead was like a cowboy or a fucking space cowboy movie.
And really funny, actually. It's a funny
Clint
movie.
Eastwood did it. Alright. It's
I'm
this
trying
was
to
not a
weirdly
Clint
realistic.
as
all
far as
space
like
truckers.
movies that remind me that this remind me of, like I got like other Stuart Gordon films, obviously, like like you can tell similarities in there, but like also it kind of reminded me of some John Carpenter. I got like Big Trouble
I
in
was gonna
Little
say
China.
Alien.
Yeah, Alien, like the design of the xenomorph, or the xenomorphs
The bad
and
guys,
Alien
the
look like
fucking
the same
spooky
thing.
monster, the spooky animatronic fucking super soldiers were legitimately scary and legitimately incredibly made.
It just
No, they
felt
were
like
good.
it was,
They weren't, but they you could tell it was like pure alien influence. The way that they come down and when they're spawning, like when they're like remember when the alien is like coming out of its cryogenic whatever, an alien, and it's like that. almost.
But that's the thing, though,
is
is like
kind
that's
of
the kind of like thing where
this
Alien has
one
bled into so many different kinds of sci-fi at this point.
Yeah.
To like fucking like
I'm
it's just
not-
like you're just doing the sci-fi thing. It's a
I'm not
campy
knocking
movie.
it. Yeah, I'm not knocking.
No,
it.
I'm just saying like it's not even like it couldn't even it
Like you
it
said,
probably was
yeah.
inspired by Alien because Alien is the fucking.
It totally was. The cryo chamber, like, is in this movie, and like
It
when it
definitely
comes
is.
up, like the chest plate goes,
Yeah.
like they all act, and when they're crawling on like the trailer too, when he's like
Yeah.
trying to blow it, it's
Facts.
like it's Alien, super
Yeah.
Alien, but
Yeah,
this
no,
feels like it could take place in the Alien universe too. That's why I think it, because these all feel
Yeah.
like
There
the
are
people from
space
Alien.
well, there's space truckers in Alien. Actually, now that you say
Yeah.
that, that's literally their job. They're not the military or anything like that. In Alien, they're like
salvage or something.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. They're salvagers, and they're like, should we go do that? Like, that's not really protocol. Whatever. We don't do that kind of shit. Like, yeah, they are space truckers. So in a lot of ways, yeah, this is kind of like a more comedic version of Aliens with more campiness, kind of like infused. Except
I
like
think it
the
could
plot
use
just gets too
more.
much. In Alien, like, the plot is very straightforward and very well thought out. This one kind of was like a lot of... it felt like a lot of stuff at the very end, and it felt like the script wasn't quite, like, tacked down.
They did
I guess.
puberty
It
halfway
felt like the
through, and
script
that's
felt a
balls
lot
got
more
dropped.
like it didn't give a shit and like it was trying to be really funny at the end.
It did.
And I mean,
Yeah.
it was
Shit.
funny. It was dope. Like they blew up the president.
She's got a Swiss Army knife. Whoa,
was awesome.
watch
Yeah.
out.
I liked it. I liked it.
No, yeah, it was a classic. Like, this is a very 90s movie. It's a very 90s comedy. It's something... It's probably one of the last of its kind. It's 96, actually. It feels like an older movie than 96. Like, there wasn't many more movies like this. Like, we probably had another 5 years where stuff like this was getting made, and then, like, we kind of, like, started entering the era where, like, a weird thing like this that has a pretty decent budget and all that shit, and... like, probably, I don't know, it just doesn't happen that much anymore. It was right on the cusp of all that stuff. Which is sad. Stuart Gordon never got this much of a budget after this. What did he do?
Yeah,
Probably
no, they just
not.
gave up on shit like that after that point. It was
Not
like
bad.
there was like a movie bust. Like there was a bubble bust at a certain point where like you just that's why they don't make comedies anymore.
After 2000,
They
after
stopped making
9/11. After
Yeah.
9/11, comedies did a lot worse for some reason.
It wasn't even just 9/11 because like post
I know
9/11
it
you
was.
had like
It
fucking
should've been
Step
funnier.
Brothers shit. You had the Judd Apatow shit. But then after that they just kept making that kind of comedy and they were like, oh wow, these big fucking like get a famous fucking person who just got out of SNL and stick him in a shitty comedy isn't
Okay.
making money anymore.
I have
But I guess that
confirmation
means
bias
people
here.
don't like comedy anymore.
I have some confirmation bias here. 1995, the year before Space Truckers came out, Stuart Gordon directed a short called Aliens: Rise at the Speed of Fright. I'm guessing that this movie probably has similar, like, they probably used some of the stuff that they ended up using, or at least workshopped, like, in this short that they ended up using for Space Truckers.
See, that's like how it works though with like film though. Like if you ask any director or filmmaker in general, like they always say like they used the lessons from the last thing to learn how to make
You were
this. Like,
psyched.
even Scorsese says that shit.
I almost feel like he might have just wanted to do that short. I don't know. It depends. Like, it feels like maybe he got the inspiration from that short to do something more
John,
with the stuff.
Mr.
You know?
Carpenter.
Or he could have even been trying to sell this movie with that short. Like he
Please,
already
Mr.
had
Carpenter, I
Maybe.
just desperately want to make an alien movie with you. Please, I have this idea for space truckers into the alien movies, Mr. Carpenter.
If
Just
John
return
Carpenter
one
had
of my
worked with him on
calls.
this, it probably would have. I don't know. It probably would have worked out more.
If it gives you any higher level of respect, the runtime of this movie is an hour
Very
and 36
short.
minutes.
Very
It's an
short.
hour and
A lot
36
happens.
minutes.
It's exactly what a
And,
movie should be.
Up
Actually.
to the point at
It really
like an
is.
hour and 10 or an hour and 15 when there's barely any runtime left. Like
They wrap
it,
everything
you have no idea how this like there. It doesn't feel like they could possibly
Yeah.
wrap this up. But then that gets to the point of them talking to fucking the robot half robot guy like sitting there and he lights his cigar and all that shit. Like
It's a
it's
good
like
scene.
and then all of a
Oh,
sudden the
yeah,
fucking
before.
third act just kicks and all of that crazy shit that happens in that third act fits into that little 20-minute fucking thing. Like that was
Yeah,
awesome.
they managed to make it work just enough. Also, that might be one of my favorite lines in the movie where Dennis Hopper says he might have been a disfigured gimp rapist son of a bitch, but he had a great death.
But he died good.
Or yeah,
Yeah,
he died good. Yeah, whatever it was. That was I fucking loved that line actually.
That was awesome. I
Yeah.
I clapped when I heard that line.
yeah.
It needed,
and his
it
like
needed
cheesy
another
smile is mwah. What were you saying,
when the guy threw the suitcase out of the hospital window and it killed the president, I felt like they needed one more good line. I felt like it was missing.
It
All
got
they
a
say
little
is someone
camp.
fragged
I will
Skaggs or
acknowledge that
whatever.
it got campier at that point.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
I guess that's a frag. Yeah, they say something like that. It's like, that's a frag. And it's like, no.
Yeah, all it is, the whole line, like the opportunity for a joke, what they end up going with is like, oh, someone fragged Skaggs, and he goes, I think we did. That's it. Like, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I mean,
Which was cool. That's good dialogue, dude. You look at that on the page and you're like, nice.
Yeah, they could have used a
looking
joke,
yeah, should have kept the receipt or something, kid. Anything like that would have been
That
fine.
would-
but
yeah.
You don't
something
need it
like
though,
that.
dude. Like then it would have been even campier. Then it would have been
It
like
should have
silly.
been. It was just dumb at the end because they
No,
lead up.
I
It's
still
all
liked
camp.
it.
It's
I still
all
like
the
it.
last.
It makes no fucking sense that they just went and walked into the fucking spaceship afterwards
That
because
makes no sense.
the deal they were given by the president was that they had a new rig, but the rig was given to them by a president who had no intention of giving them a rig.
Yeah. No, why would he
That
buy
was a
them a
little
rig?
stupid. That was tacked on, but I mean, it literally seemed like it was intentionally trying to just be like, "Hey, I was retarded, right?" Like it
Yeah.
really felt like it was
Yeah.
doing that at the end.
It was very and cut. That's a wrap, folks. We're done. Kind
Did
of
I ever
thing.
show you Dark Star, Dwayne? Have you seen that, Brant? Like
That was the
movie?
one where like that was the John Carpenter thing where like
Yeah.
the spaceship was made out of takeout boxes, right?
Are you
Yeah,
asking
we
me if
might-
I've never seen the movie.
Brand-
I've been recommended it 100 times. but
Fuck,
I've
we're
heard
gonna
that.
watch that. Actually, we are going to watch that movie on this podcast for sure. That's one of my favorite movies. But I got a lot of yeah. That's
Yeah.
another space trucker-ish kind of movie. It has country music in
Okay.
space, and I think country music in space is one of the best fucking combinations you could possibly have.
How is there
I
not
love
more
it.
trucker music in this movie? It opens with a
Yeah.
great trucker song.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
is
know.
a good point.
Where's the Merle? Where's
Yeah.
the fucking Merle?
That
I was gonna
actually
bring
is a
that up.
big detriment in this movie. Like they get
Good.
Cotton Eye Joe at the end, and it's like, okay, like that could have been nice earlier
Where's
in the
my
fucking movie.
Eastbound in town? Where
Yeah,
are my
that- it was-
tunes?
That was legitimately
Convoy,
disappointing. They
anything.
probably didn't want to pay for more music or whatever, but like, no, put more.
You know what
fucking
song
music
would have
in.
Did
fit
you-
great in this movie? Is fucking 18 Tons. That would have been a good one.
That would have been good. That would
You just like you just get it, but you like have them change so it's like 18,000 tons or something.
yeah, yeah. Well, in Dark Star, they actually write a, what is it?
Down.
Benson, Arizona is like.
You do
the
not know
country
what song I'm
in-
talking about, Brant.
No, yeah, 18
No, Brant, you do-
tons.
oh, it's 16
What do you
tons.
get? You
It's-
get 16,
16
man
tons.
deeper in debt. That one.
I don't know that song.
It's a good song.
Other
And-
day older.
It's-
and
This just seems
Yeah,
like a
something
lot
like
of your music selection. I feel like you kind of like didn't actually watch this movie. You saw the first half and said like,
He remembers
yeah.
the last part, it seems like, too, but honestly, it feels like you kind of have the smooth brain, like, interpretation of the movie, where me and Brant are, like, we're at in that meme thing where it's, like, the small mind, we're at the big glowing mind, I think, because we
Man,
remember
how
everything.
many movies though? How many movies
What?
that you're watching and are like, this is
You
awesome?
know,
It would be dope if they killed the
I don't get
president
this
of the world,
movie at all.
and then they fucking killed the president.
Yeah, but
of
you
the
remember
world.
it.
It was dope. It was dope.
I remember pretty well because I watched it a few times. I think the whole pirate part was it was set up in the beginning, so of course they had to do it, but it felt dumb. Also, that one was
No.
weird.
I liked the pirate stuff. I honestly think it should have been less pirate, though, and
Yeah.
more
I think
like...
those scenes just. I think that
rogue
the
bikers.
scientist left
The
over
gag-
after the attack, and he should have like just been a head in a jar or something like this.
Yeah.
I barely put myself together. It should have been like,
I honestly
the
think
last
it
of
should have
the
been bikers.
Nah, man,
it should have been
because-
like bikers versus
Yeah, that would have been
truckers.
sick,
You know what
actually.
I mean? The pirate stuff did feel slightly out of place, and the music becomes piratey in those scenes. And it's like, I don't want that pirate sound like music. I want some rock and roll. You know?
They totally should have like taken the like a bunch of
So
biker
that's-
ships like
That's feeling a lot like my.
going in like circles around them or something. They like pull them off to a
Yeah,
an
that would be
asteroid.
great.
That would've been
See,
cool.
and
Put
that
them on,
would
like,
be
a
also, Brand,
playing with
also,
the
Brand,
best
though, like,
tropes
when
and
you're
using it in
watching
an
this,
interesting way.
you gotta-
Yeah.
Like a
Got
bunch
like
of
the
bikes.
barbecue pit roast
bunch
out
of
there, like
bikes
on the
going
asteroid.
around.
They don't care. They're just
Man,
like
that
wearing
would have been
space
really hard
helmets.
to make. That would have been really expensive to make, is my own.
They-
Like
No,
one ship
Dwayne.
eating
No.
another ship, boom.
No, what
That's
they
way
did,
cheap.
Dwayne,
All-
with
No
this
way.
movie, with this movie, a lot of things were possible because they were willing to, like, not everything looks the best in this movie, but the reason I love this movie is because it's also one of those movies where they really were just trying it, and it was like, fuck it, it's good enough. we're gonna get by on pure charisma, and we're not gonna have the best
But
special
dude, some of
effects,
those
and
special
works.
effects looked incredible.
Some
Yeah,
of
the
them,
black
some of them look
rocks.
great.
Incredible.
Yeah, some of
They're
them
like
look
doing
great.
the black ice thing, but it's rocks in space. I was
Black
like,
rock.
that looked really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
Black Rock.
Black rock. Yeah, some of it
Yet
looks
again, I
garbage,
like
though.
how the main character was a badass. He was just like whipping shit around. Just
Totally
Yeah.
could have. They did the whole scene like where after he escapes the police in the dumbest way possible by knocking over the safety cones, like ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
Yeah.
And that
like,
somehow
like,
stops all the
and they
police.
never come back either. They never
Yeah.
come back either, which I felt
Never
like,
chase him down. But
Could have been
they,
deleted scenes there.
I feel
they
like
did
they
that.
should have come back maybe in the climax or something, and then
They
the
totally could have done
just fucking-
bikers.
I don't know.
spinning around. And
Bikers
like,
would have been
oh,
good.
there's smoke screen. It's like, can't see. They're jamming them. They're like, oh, they got us cabled. They're dragging us to the asteroid. Super easy. And it would have like not been as dumb as the ship like eating the big long hot dog that is his trailer. Oh.
I don't mind that. I
Lot
don't mind
easier
that
to
too
use.
much. Yeah, I don't
Would've
mind
been
that too
easier to
much,
set
honestly.
to. Do like
Yeah.
an outraid Raiders outpost on an asteroid instead of like everything being weird, kind of sci-fi, like just dingy and steel.
I think the main thing is, like, it's a really good movie that doesn't feel quite distilled for me. There's movies where you feel like it's 100% vision. They have everything exactly how they want it. This movie felt like it could have been tightened, and it could have been, like, I don't know, like, it could have been really, like, had a little more time spent on some of it, I guess.
Man, I
Could've
say
been
shine
cool.
on you, crazy diamond. I think this movie is a masterpiece.
Okay,
I
I
mean,
love it.
Like, I think where
I
it
like it a
got
lot.
corny,
It was fun.
Yeah.
It wasn't good,
If
but it
they
was
didn't
fun.
hire Dennis Hopper, cats, they probably could have afforded the shit that you want.
Dennis Hopper is very integral to this, though.
Dennis Hopper is
Yeah.
what they
Yeah,
hired.
who else would you have other
that.
than Dennis?
Kurt
Gotta pay
Russell would have
that
been
man.
great. Kurt Russell would have been great, but then you're getting into real big trouble in Little China.
More Dennis Hopper. Like I
No,
was
I
trying
know.
to I was explaining this movie to somebody at work earlier, and I was trying to she's like a normie, and I was trying to mention some Dennis Hopper movies I've seen that normies have seen, and there aren't a lot, dude. I was trying to figure it out, and I was like, Super Mario Brothers, Blue Velvet, fucking. He's Dennis Hopper. Like he's fucking Easy Rider. Like he just does. Apocalypse
Yeah.
Now. He does
I feel like
hardcore
he's
shit.
a fairly household. I feel like a lot of people know him though. At the same time,
He only does fucking cool movies though, you know.
he does. That's very true.
Space
Fuck,
truck.
what
Like
else
he
is there?
wasn't in fucking Jurassic Park. I was trying to think what is the thing he was in that was the mainstream thing, and the only thing I could think of was fucking Blue Velvet and Apocalypse Now.
Well, Blue
and
Velvet
most
is
people nowadays haven't seen those.
Blue Velvet's somewhat well known.
Man, I'd they're mostly fucking weirdos. They gotta be
There it
mostly
is.
weird.
Waterworld. I knew he was a bad guy
No
in
one has ever
something.
seen
No one-
Water-
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Lots of people have
Most
seen
normal people
Waterworld.
haven't seen Waterworld.
No, everyone's seen Waterworld.
I
In the
have
swear to
exact
God.
same vein of
So,
Space
no.
Truckers. Waterworld was a horrific mistake.
Yeah,
on the
but okay,
studio. It's a
there's
great
a
movie.
Waterworld
It's fun to
ride.
watch, but
Everyone's
they
been on
fucked
the
up.
water.
They
Everyone who's
fucked
gone
up.
to Universal Studios, the park or whatever, everyone's been on the fucking Waterworld ride or not
Is
ride.
that
the,
still
the
a thing?
show.
I thought that was only a thing for a couple of years.
No, I went to it. I went to the
Oh,
Waterworld
yeah.
show. It's a whole fucking
This
show. It's
year.
actually pretty fun. They squirt water on you and stuff, but it's a hot day.
Oh,
in
Kat,
California.
that's your privilege talking. How many people have been to Universal Studios?
It's popular. I'm just saying, Waterworld is probably more popular. That's
Popular
something that
among the
people would know
1%.
about.
As
Whatever.
people going to
Whatever.
Universal, sure, but I doubt most of the people in that audience for the show have actually watched the movie
Maybe. I mean, yeah, I guess so.
because it's
Is he-
old. It's an old and dumb movie,
Oh, he died. in
equally as
2010.
old and dumb.
Yeah.
Not-
Either way,
not to
I
be
think
too
he's
cynical.
fairly well known. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I
You're
Dennis
Dennis
Hopper's
Well, I
great.
just kind of know, he's awesome. He's a fucking legend. But it's just, I was thinking about it, he doesn't have something with a lot of actors where, fucking, you can just be he was that guy. You know,
Yeah.
He was that one guy from that giant thing. You can't really, unless they've seen Apocalypse Now or Blue Velvet, you can't really, he doesn't really have that thing. And those are both
I
kind of
honestly,
niche.
I think you would say Waterworld. I'm gonna say you would say Waterworld. It has fucking Kevin Costner in it. He's the main villain.
The most well-known thing about Waterworld is that no one went to see it, Cats, you fucking idiot.
no
No.
one wants to see Space Truckers either.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
everyone's-
but I'm saying Space Truckers is known
You're
as
wrong.
niche. Waterworld is known as a flop.
everyone's aware of Waterworld.
Everyone's
I
aware of
disagree.
Waterworld, but no one's seen Waterworld.
Everyone knows Dennis Hopper in Waterworld.
I watched half of one.
I don't even know.
7, I think.
Whatever.
Never seen it.
Well, I feel
Watched
like the
some of
only
it.
thing that we've left out of this movie, for the most part, that actually like should be elaborated a little bit more on. We touched on it, but like the daughter or the mom being cryogenically unfrozen at the end. Like, I just want to like actually like just like say that like exactly how it happened. Like they show up, we're expecting old mom. We're expecting like her mother, an elderly person, sitting in the
Okay.
fucking hospital bed.
That's
They
the thing,
pull
though,
the
is
curtains away.
you're watching the movie, and you're like, after Dennis Hopper makes it so that the hot young dude can get the girl, like, at least for me, I was like, man, dude, I felt like Dennis Hopper should have gotten the girl. And then Dennis Hopper gets a fucking hotter girl, and that's the chick's mom?
I thought she was at least
No,
like
it's
a
funny.
silver
It's not
box.
bad. It's funny. Like
It was
I
really
forgot
good,
about
like,
it.
because like as the end of the movie,
She's younger.
Her camp points.
She's younger than her daughter. Yeah.
No,
it's like,
you can tell she's slightly older. Maybe she's just
Maybe.
a little bit older. But
That's
yeah,
my
it is
mark.
funny. Like I totally forgot about that from the first time I watched it, and I rewatched it. I was like, yeah, damn, that is such a like I don't know.
Yes.
To end on that in the last fucking 10 minutes. The last 10 minutes, and
She
just
has the
throw
last
that at
line
the
of the
audience.
movie. She has the last line of the movie where she's like, "Oh, I hope I don't lose my lunch."
Yeah, that's true.
And in that fucking Margot Robbie being fucking like she's being a Harley Quinn right there. She was doing straight up Harley Quinn voice.
She was doing the voice like Dennis Hopper is gonna fucking dick me down right after this. We're gonna go in zero
After
gravity,
this-
and he's gonna give me some.
Not a
zero
bad
gravity
voice
cock.
to have.
Yeah,
not until I finish this hot
Every
dog.
person deserves to have Dennis Hopper dick him down at some point.
but
That's
everyone,
called-
everyone wants to be hopped. Come on, I mean.
Everybody wants to get hopped.
And
up
with
by
that,
Hopper.
With that,
Hashtag
is there
hopped up
anything
by
we
Hopper.
is there anything we left out? Is there something that was like a best scene in the movie that should be mentioned? Because I feel like we touched all the highlights.
The dude getting his butthole sucked out into space should have been
Right.
much more.
That was dope.
Yeah,
That was good
he
shit.
should have got sucked inside out. But
What I
other than that-
wanted, well, actually, what I wanted from that, they could have done it even simpler, and it wouldn't have even expanded the budget. They just should have had the exact thing that they did. Cut to them though, and a bunch of blood and bones and shit just flies all over all the main characters. And they go, ugh, like
I think it's
like,
already sucked
They
back
just,
into.
they just
yeah.
need more viscera.
It needed, yes, it totally did. It needed that gore. It
Cat,
just needed
this
that one
reminds
scene
me
of
of
gore.
my critique. This reminds me a lot of my critique of the movie Mandy, where it was like, I loved the movie, but it doesn't work for me because it needed more metal.
Yeah,
Like,
Mandy
it's
was
a
little
small
bit of-
thing and it's a me thing, but it needed
Even though,
that.
like
I agree.
a
with you on
red
that.
mist as they were pulling out or
Exactly,
something, like
something.
in space.
Something visceral because he
'Cause-
goes into it like a rubber costume.
That's continuity
and you
issue.
don't
Yeah,
though.
he's like-
That's
he's a-
continuity issue.
He's like flat.
Then have it
against,
go
like-
on the crew. Have it go on all the people we're not going to see in the very next fucking scene, and they go like something like that, anything. It would have been great. I don't know why they
Instead he
didn't
gets
have
sucked
a
out
bunch
like a
of
Looney's Tunes. and you're
Especially if
like,
he
Yeah,
got
it really
sucked
is.
out or
Which
whatever,
is
and like
fine.
it's clear that his butt crack is like not getting sucked out as hard, and he gets split down the sides, and like then like the blood just sprays out over everybody but the main cast. That solves your continuity issue.
Yeah, I think
They
that
are
would've
in
been
the
great.
butthole. They are
I think
in the
that would've been
butthole.
great. Yeah,
True just tossed a bucket of chum at like a high power fan for that scene, yeah.
that would have been like, the Scanners moment in this movie, and possibly would have saved it in theaters. If somebody goes, oh yeah, this guy gets sucked out by his butthole and like sprays his entire.
And you get
body.
done. You get done like that.
Too
First
awesome
20
to
minutes.
ever do well in theaters. This
Everyone gets what
movie
they
was
want
too
right
awesome
away.
to
No
ever
one's
do
waiting
well.
for it. It's like, there it is. He got sucked out.
I don't
You
know
see
why
it.
this movie didn't do well in theaters, honestly. It should have at least made some... Like, it was $20 million budget, $1 million box office. I do not know how it was that bad. It should have at least gotten $10
Because
million.
Space
but
Truckers sounds corny, and people are like, "Oh, they're just trying to show us
it
more."
sounds awesome. Like,
What was the name of that terrible Eddie Murphy we watched?
Pluto Nash.
This
Yeah.
was this post Pluto Nash, and they were just like, "Oh, they're just
Pre-
putting bullshit."
Pre-Nash.
Pluto Nash was 2002, I believe.
Well, it probably got hit with the same wave of like that ain't Star Wars.
I
Yeah.
guess. But Space Truckers
else was
sounds badass.
spacey?
That sounds like something I would want to see at the very
It
least,
does,
but-
but like when you're saying it as the name of a movie, like you might be like, "Oh, that's corny." Like you're just putting two things together. You Hollywood.
I guess. I don't know.
Truckers.
I
Space
feel like it was
Truckers.
probably a
If
marketing...
If it came out in the 70s, people liked truckers. People thought truckers were cool. By the 90s, people were like, "Oh, they're beneath us. They just drive carbon-emitting machines."
I don't know. I don't think that's true because there's lots of like similar trucking kind. I don't know. It was like that
In the
ironic
90s, how
kind of
many
thing.
trucking movies in the 90s and post can you think of?
I'm thinking of Big Trouble.
Where the story isn't about how sad it is that they're a trucker.
I'm thinking about Big Trouble in Little China like immediately. I
That
don't know
was
if that
way
was
before the 90s.
It was like late 80s, early 90s. 86. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, that was
10 years
decade before, dude. Different world.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like the 90s was still prime for that kind of shit.
96 was a tough year for competition, too, because you have, like, Biodome, Happy Gilmore, Black Sheep. You have, like, all the SNL guys start to come out. You
Big
got
comedy year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Space Jam? Wasn't that the Space Jam year?
Beavis and Butthead to America, Escape from L.A. Honestly, yeah, there's Mars Attacks,
right.
too.
Yeah,
It was
Space
very
Jam was
tough.
96.
No fucking trucker movies though, right?
I mean, I'm not saying 96 was a big year. I'm saying the 90s, I don't see why there would be such...
S95, S94. Like, find me the last big trucker.
90s truckers movies. 90s truckers movies. How about that?
Snake Plissken looks like a trucker.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see why there would be such bias against truckers in the 90s. I do not see
There's a movie called Carpool. Oh wow, Head of the Family was made in 1996. That's a wonderfully shit movie. Awful.
Head of the Family? What is that?
It's
I think I've seen.
Oh
this.
wait, is that big head? Is it that
he's
big
like
head
in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
And he controls all of his siblings, and the one specific one is really hot, and she emits pheromones, and so he controls her and fucks people. He fucks men. And it really brings up, he's like, I'm not gay because I'm inside a woman's body, but I'm having sex with men, so I'm not gay.
Yeah. That movie should have been good, actually, but it was not. It was not. Like, there was a lot of stuff that felt like I should have loved it, but... Okay, this 90s truckers search is not doing me well.
No, but trucker movies and by the 90s were fucking played out, man.
Muppets,
horror
Treasure
movies.
Island.
How about Jeepers Creepers types of movies? I feel like those were still like Joyride.
Yeah, horror was still a thing. Like, this was even pre-Scream. Like, horror was still a thing. Horror and event movies are like the two completely like fucking history-proof kinds of movies, at least in the past 40 years.
You'll always get someone to watch horror movies, or
People
you'll always
always
get
go to
someone
horror
to watch
movies
a war
because
movie.
and they all suck. Every
Yeah, they
major
suck,
fucking
especially
release
now.
horror movie of my lifetime has fucking sucked.
Apparently, Black Phone's pretty good.
It's not really horror.
I love Ethan Hawke.
One of the few movies that's kind of horror that like everyone fucking raves over and is pretty much worth it is The Witch, but that's not really scary. It's not a very.
The Witch was good. The Witch was probably like because that one was actually like because Hereditary wasn't like outwardly popular. I don't know any like normies who have seen Hereditary.
Yeah.
Oh, Darkman.
But The Witch,
3.
some of them might have seen it.
Yeah.
Darkman 3 dropped in 1996. No wonder they couldn't get any. Oh, and From Dusk Till Dawn. That's kind of a trucker movie.
There you go. Trucker movie.
That's Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah,
okay.
It's still
it's still a fucking
It's not
trucker
a
movie.
bad thing. I'm just saying like that was a cool guy movie.
Yeah, but
speaking of Robert Rodriguez, I recently rewatched Spy Kids. Those movies rule. There's a part in Spy Kids 2 where at the beginning, Junie, the young boy, walks up to the president's daughter. And she's like, and she's like surrounded by like fucking Secret Service. They're like shimmying as she dances within them. And he's like, hey, I want to dance with you. And then they spread out. He's like, I'm fucking level 2. And he shows his badge and they spread out. And then she's like, I'm sorry, I only dance ballet. And then he does a twirl. And he's like, so do I.
It was
that movie
is
amazing. That movie is amazing.
That movie is a 12-year-old like that. As a 12-year-old, seeing that was like a religious experience. Like every single thing in there is guided towards a 12-year-old.
I watched Spy Kids 2 when I saw it was fucking on HBO.
Yeah. No, those are classics. I can't like tell you how much I wanted those little dinosaurs when they have the game board and all those little monsters are fighting with each other. And I just remember like fantasizing about that.
Pretty
like,
sick.
Yeah, and the whole thing about like they're like that. We don't need to go too hard on Spy Kids 2.
Maybe we'll do them someday.
That's
maybe,
good.
Maybe,
That's
maybe
good.
Lawnmower Man 2 was released the same year, 1996. Would you look at that?
Movie? What 2?
Lawnmower Man 2.
The best
Lawnmower Man I've seen, I believe.
Yeah.
Why didn't you watch the first one?
Yeah, the first one's actually so much better.
I'm
pretty sure you did see the first one. I feel like we talked about
the first one. I've made you watch the first one.
I like the first one, actually.
Yeah,
I do not mind the first one.
I think I saw the first one. Yeah, Brant, you're right. Like in high school, we watched the first Lawnmower Man. I don't really remember it.
For the podcast, did you only watch the Lawnmower Man 2? So it was mostly just Lawnmower Man 2 that was in your brain for that one?
Yeah, because that was the movie we were told to watch, so I watched that movie.
I had to watch the first one for that one just because I knew how bad the second one is going to be.
I usually try to, but I think it's kind of fun. Like with Superman 3, too, I was like, it would be kind of fun to see what you think of this movie in a vacuum.
Yeah. but not Lawnmower Man 2. Not Lawnmower Man 2.
I
That's
watched
not
all
worth
the
it.
Supermans, though.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and it wasn't, because Lawnmower Man 2 was fucking weird. So, well, same thing with Reanimator 2. We watched Bride of Reanimator or whatever.
Yes.
No, we watched Reanimator.
That was back in the Seth era.
No, we watched Bride of Reanimator.
Did I start with Bride of Reanimator?
Yeah, I think that might be
Yeah.
I think that was your first fucking choice.
My first choice was Gladiator, actually. I'm pretty sure. I think it was first Gladiator.
And then nobody watched Gladiator.
Yeah, nobody fucking watched it all.
Because it wasn't available on anything, and we're like, I'm not spending $3 to watch Gladiator.
Fuck you.
Yeah, that was before we started vetting our searches just a little bit so that everyone could watch it.
You guys got $10 to watch Ben Hurts, right? Cool. We'll do that next week. And of course, none of us.
Ben-Hur is a good movie. The original Ben-Hur from the 50s.
You should be able to find Ben-Hur on, like, Internet Archive, honestly.
Dude, Ben-Hur is a cool movie because, like, that's
good.
a movie where, like, it's just a dude who's vibing around in Jesus' time. And, like, every now and again they have a scene and just Jesus shows up and he's just like, I'm just going to
just
these
there.
weapons real quick.
Hey.
Fucked off.
What are you doing?
It's an awesome movie.
They're like
Ben-Hur's
watching him like
crazy.
race, and then it stops suddenly on the crowd and zooms in. Jesus is there. It's like, yeah.
Woo!
Ben-
Yeah, no, it was literally just like a fucking side story of Jesus, and just Jesus keeps coming in and fucking making shit better.
Hello, Ben. It is me, Jesus.
But it includes a bunch
Fine
of
on this
chariot
race.
races and shit. The original Ben-Hur is that's some good Charlton Heston.
But the remake? Choice.
I haven't seen the remake.
No, I
I
haven't
assume
seen
it is just as dog shit as like the remake of like fucking Roots and shit.
I don't think anyone saw the remake. I don't think that was a very much watched film. But
Yeah, no, that's up there with like the remake of Birth of a Nation. Which it wasn't a remake. It was just a movie that said Birth of a Nation because they wanted to show people like, hey, I am a random black person. I'm a better filmmaker than
I thought they remade Birth of a Nation in like 2017. Wasn't that Charlottesville or something?
No, it wasn't.
No, that was January 6th, right?
It wasn't Birth of a Nation though. It had nothing to do with that movie. It was just a fucking. It was a movie about Nat Turner. And they called it Birth of a Nation because they wanted to try to erase the movie Birth of a Nation from history.
Then you're just going to have people that look up Birth of a Nation, Nat Turner, and they're like, oh, what's this other one? Wow, that's actually very compelling. You're like, I don't know. That's kind of seems like a little gateway. That's a gateway movie, and I think that's dangerous.
I don't know,
It's
because like
marijuana.
all the information out there about Birth of a Nation is like, especially from the people who are super interested in that Birth of a Nation, it's gonna be like, wow, this movie's racist. Wow, boy, this movie's racist. Big boy.
Wow.
Oh gosh, look at all this
jeez.
racism.
Oh,
Which
God.
it was racist as fuck. It was a superhero movie about the Klan.
Yeah,
but,
it's just Klan.
so-
Like,
which
it's the
wasn't
Klan
cool,
Avengers.
but
Klan
It's
Avengers.
just all like fucking trying to erase D.W. Griffith thing. Because that man was a fucking, like, that guy knew how to make a movie. That guy invented a lot of shit you do about
true.
movies.
It's true. It is true. It's pretty funny. Okay, we should probably move on to the other
Yes!
Because Brant's face is turning to putty. He's starting to look like the like the woman in the fucking stall in the movie. I just want to like flip your mouth open like this. Okay, Brant, you go first. Dwayne's smoking. Whatever.
I think my biggest problem with this movie, like I said, I was watching another 2000 sci-fi show for most of the week. This would do a lot better as a TV show, honestly. I think if we kept it around these space stations or these space truck stops,
Okay.
space pit stops, and focus more on like the happenings there. Because honestly, as soon as they left, everything got kind of boring for me. If you didn't have the robots and the pirates, it was just kind of three people trucking to Earth.
So,
And as much as I like, I love what a good movie is Smoke Signals, and that's just like two people driving and then having a time. It's a lot more sad, but this was just a little kind of boring. There wasn't enough real drama, if you ask me.
would you have it be like characters throughout the show, or like the same characters, or would you have it be like episodic, like stuff that's just in the Space Truckers universe?
No, I think it would
Space
probably be
Truckers
best
with an
to.
S.
I think it'd probably be best if we could get Dennis Hopper to stay in the role and to always be president. And then, like, at the most, you would probably move between pit stops. But we already have a pretty well established crew of adversaries as well as
Brant,
like our
you could do it
heroes
like
are set
the
up.
1970s Hulk show where like the Hulk is just wandering in
I've never
different
seen
towns. No, well, either way though, that was just like a story of like a guy and like he just like walked into towns and then he like did his shit. Like you could make that Dennis Hopper. Like he just walks into a different part of the
drives
universe.
different pit stops, but they're all pretty much.
And then just like he's just trying to hold in his trucker powers.
Every Conoco or Exxon's pretty much the exact same once you see him. It's just little differences here on set.
And I bet that would be even more apparent.
You got pirates. We could do the space bikers. We have the aliens, the fucking robot aliens. And then you have like the president of Earth. So like all this time you would.
And we never saw that many planets. They're talking about how Earth is this rare thing, and so that implies that most people are on other planets, on other space stations. Most people live in space, and we didn't get to see a whole lot of that. So
they established that there's a lot out there, and then they decided to just fucking stay in the inky black void of space.
Yeah. Okay. So, in your Space Truckers show, is this picking up right when they go back into space? What's going on?
I think I want to retcon most of it.
Okay.
Because a lot of the main drive of this is obviously getting to Earth, so you want to keep that for your first season. And I think instead of necessarily having the robots kind of like be his toe, I'd rather have it be like a lot of misdirection type stuff. So like he has like the pigs, like maybe the first couple trailers are expecting like this is just freeze-dried Mars corn or something, It's we got just chocolate chunks out here, genetically modified babies and all that noise. And it's like the very last or like in between is like this one little nodule, and he's carrying the like activation code for all the robots because they're like already like poised over the moon or something, right? So as soon as he breaks the atmosphere, they're all gonna like explode out of the moon and then come down. So the whole season we got like this evil plan that's always getting more evil as we cut to the president with his cyborg chainsaw dick lieutenant. We're going to keep him with a chainsaw dick. I think he works really good as an android.
Okay.
And I think it would be good to have him as kind of like, to betray him at the end too, where it's like, I am half robot, so I will be all powerful.
So he has the cargo for the entire season though?
Yeah, that's how you usually do this stuff is they always have it. And like they lose it, maybe for a couple episodes, but then they get it back, like they're at a space bazaar and they find like some Dularian, he's trading. The guy stops. He's like, "That's my black box." He's like, "No, friend. I found this many cycles ago, deep in an asteroid. That's my black box. That's got my Cheeto smudge. That's my mustard smudge on it." And they're dragging him away, and they have to do a heist together. It writes itself because all sci-fi is fucking generic. There's not much you can do with what you don't know.
I can see like how you could easily make an entire season out of this. I honestly think trying to do this the evil cargo thing that they have and trying to build an entire season off of that would be stretching the material pretty thin though. I feel like the cargo thing that we start with in the movie
subplot.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. We have multiple enemies. We have the robots, we have bikers, we have pirates, and we have Union. We have the Union too, which is an interesting one we could use because they're like their government essentially, right? And it's like, you gotta pull over there, Dennis. We gotta check the cargo. And he's like, I don't got time to do this. Like, union regulations. Well, I'm not a union scab. And then you have, episodes like that. I'd say 7 episodes.
I honestly feel like are these hour-long episodes?
TV, so 45 minutes.
Yeah, 45 minutes. Okay. I feel like he should at least have multiple, like he should have to get cargo at least like a few times in the course of the show. Like I want to have more in the life of the trucker. I want him to be
That's why he has multiple trailers, he's making multiple stops. He's dropped and he picks the one back up. And so here's where I will get you. He is going to fuck a different alien chick each episode.
Okay, yeah, see, I want shit like I want something different to happen. I want to explore the universe. I want see the ins and outs of everything.
The week kind of movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Very pussy.
Pussy of the week, but also I want cargo of the week too. Like I think cargo of the week is also still interesting.
It's all about the loads.
It's loads.
Right,
if we're going in or going out, I don't care.
So either we open with him in the circle of restaurants eating breakfast after having sex, or he wakes up with a strange alien. He's got to sneak out of their weird fucked up house kind of thing. But we always have it's like, what's the contract today? And they go back and they check it. It's like, it's all something weird. It's like, we got to keep this.
It would be a great episode. Yeah. It would be a great, especially a pilot episode if it was based on the movie. If it started out with him just having a deeply romantic scene with a alien lady. And then he fucking just switches her off, and he's actually transporting sex dolls, but they're super sex dolls.
And then he delivers it, and they're just doing a cursory glance on all the sex dolls. Did you use one? This one looks a little
I had to make sure the product was good.
No, he would have a great one.
We can't accept this one. They store the DNA. It's bonded to you now.
All right,
There's the episode.
There's a bunch of ways you can do that.
Yeah.
How he sells the sex
and then she becomes his sidekick.
Yeah. Okay.
For like an
like
episode.
That. Brant,
enough for us to like him.
This is a good idea. I want you. We're gonna move on to Dwayne. I want you to like think about the rough outline of what the first episode would be, from like first, second, third act, kind of how that like develops and how that brings us to the rest of the season, basically. Like I just want a rough outline of the first episode. Dwayne, what's yours?
Okay, so like what I was going off of was at the end of Space Truckers, they have this sort of like fucking rubber meets the road moment where him and his fucking boy or whatever are just like, hey, you're gonna just like take the government money, and he's like, nah, dude, you gotta take the government money or else you're gonna be followed by a ghost for the rest of your life, and then they're gonna disappear you. Like, so there's a genuine like fucking difference of opinions between those two characters. So I'm saying do a genuine sequel right after that, and they're like traveling across the fucking universe, whatever, with him and his trucker mom and fucking the young truckers. Okay. And his trucker girl or whatever, and there's just a difference of opinion there, and he's just
so the briefcase doesn't blow up.
No, the briefcase, like we're following directly from that.
Okay.
But still, though, those disagreements exist where he's like, man, you just want to like keep fucking poking this bear. You want to just keep fighting against like I'm just trying to get a gig, like because that's his character. At the end of the day, he's like, I'm just trying to do the job. So like the idea I have is like fucking like they're just like the fucking younger truckers like we gotta join the resistance, try to take out the fucking system or whatever. And Dennis Hopper and his blonde bimbo who's just like super down to do whatever he does because like she's a good wife. She was back in the day. Like and she's just following his fucking orders, and they start taking government contracts and shit. And there's this whole like crazy space epic going on with the young truckers as they like try to take down the government, and they're basically fucked near the end of the
Star Wars.
And throughout all this, they're basically fucked throughout the end of the movie as they're like trying to take out the Empire, whatever they're doing a Star Wars. During all of that, there's a subplot in which is the main plot of fucking Dennis Hopper and his fucking bimbo wife just doing like trucker shit, just like going to truck stops, and then they see on the news like all the shit that's going on, and they see how much they're constantly getting fucked by the man and constantly getting screwed over by the man. So it ends with basically they're like fighting against like these two giant space towers. And the resistance people the young truckers, they're fighting against these two giant world space towers, World Space Trade Center. Then just Dennis Hopper just decides he just like fucking like tells his wife to wait at the truck stop. And like as they're at the point of war fuck no return, Dennis Hopper just takes out Tower 1. And then some other patriot takes out Tower 2. And then they take down the galactic government. And then they fucking have a giant statue or whatever to remember.
I half expected you to try to make a correlation between this and the trucker protest, and they're actually like protesting vaccinations. I honestly like.
I went deeper. Like that would have been a fun joke, but I went deeper and I just went straight to 9/11.
Okay. I wasn't expecting 9/11 at all.
I wasn't either. No, honestly. I was expecting the trucker protest. Yeah, I know.
Well, literally, dude, I was watching Space Truckers in that long truck, and I was like, man, if that went into the towers, maybe even if it just like took both out, like I took out Tower 1, and then just and it goes through and takes out Tower 2 as well. He doesn't. Whenever I
watch space movies, whenever I see the spaceship, I immediately think, God damn, that could take down a tower. That could be. Well, because he basically like fucking like suicided
himself for the greater good at the end of the movie.
Whenever I see the Starship Enterprise, the first thing I think is just, God damn, that could have taken out Building 7 so fucking easily.
That could have taken them all out. All three. That would have taken out the 3 walls of the Pentagon.
Is take actual footage of 9/11 and you just copy it, just edit the ship in and make it a spaceship.
Well, it was a long.
That's all you do.
Right? Yeah. Like that could have done some damage.
It's actual 9/11 footage. Oh my god!
It could have done some damage.
It cuts from like the spaceship, and then
could you imagine though if 9/11 if New York was getting stormed at the time and 9/11 was
you look over and see a bunch of like Israelis dancing. Dennis Hopper, our savior, has come to destroy
Hopper.
capitalism.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys just made it racist. I was just trying to make a good trucker movie.
Dwayne, we're an hour and we have to get anti-Semitic. You know, we have to.
Yeah,
put
no, I
away
think,
anti-Semitism.
yeah, no,
Say
it's
nigger right
definitely
now.
at that time.
Yeah,
It's
no, it's nigger o'clock right now. Sorry.
exactly. I was just about to say no N-words yet, but they're coming.
Oh, that's it. We're done.
Yeah,
we got
no,
him
we made our quota. We're good now. It's fine.
contractual.
Well,
obligation
no,
done.
we don't make the quota until like Brant says it again way too brazenly, and then I just begrudgingly try to join the
I
squad.
said it
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
brazenly, I believe. Do you want me to roll my
You said
R's
you
when I
didn't.
say nigger? Is that what you want?
Nigger. Nigger.
I can't roll my R's. I'm not Spanish enough.
How does Nick Fuentes say the N-word, Brand? He goes, nigger. Nigger.
That's because Nick Fuentes is such a bitch. He can't even say his R's hard.
Do you think he purrs whenever he hears the N-word? He probably just...
See, is rolling your R's the opposite of a hard R?
Yeah, that would be a
That's
soft
a
R.
bitch R.
That's a soft
bitch
R. Yeah. No,
It is
that's
a
like
soft
you're
R 'cause
into
you're-
it R. Like, you want that. Yeah.
Because also, like, rolling your R's is a Spanish thing, and it comes from the word Negro. You know, so, like, you're not even being racist if you say that. Like, you can't tell... Yeah, I can't even... Like, there's
Probably
got to be a
would
time
still
in
be
10 years
racist.
where I can't even tell cats what color his shirt is if we live in Spain.
Okay. I mean, you know, if it's green, I can't tell what color it is either, so, you know.
Yeah, well,
Nice.
it's Negro.
That way you guys know. If you're ever stalking cats, just wear green.
Invisible. Totally
Can't
totally
see
fucking
'em.
invisible. So I'm like a
Well,
bowl.
anyway, there's the greatest movie ever for you.
Okay. I like the ending, obviously, but it's not very Space Truckers, honestly. You did just, like, morph it and, like, stretch it and contort it into fucking Star Wars a little too much.
I don't think
feel
so
like.
because like it's literally 50
Until 9/11.
between the
Yeah,
Star
until
Wars
9/11.
plot and him just trucking and him just like doing these
What is
contracts.
he doing while
like
he's-
half the
so he's
movie
doing
is
the
just him doing these contracts.
But then it gets
Like,
into the
like keeps getting
it gets
fucked
into the
over.
revolutionary thing, and then you're almost kind of replaying the fucking like thing that the problem with this movie, which is it gets very plot oriented. At all of a sudden, it's like, oh, it's us against the Empire kind of thing, and you lost me immediately with that kind of shit. I feel like I don't see.
Well,
like,
maybe
a huge
that's
fucking
maybe
villain.
that's a rubber meets the road because like fucking I think that's what's cool about
Empire.
Space Truckers to a certain extent is even though it's a trucking movie, they somehow save the world. And I think if you're gonna make a genuine sequel, you gotta have a little bit of that juice.
They somehow save the world, but they don't. He's not a hero.
You
though.
can't.
Dennis
how
Hopper.
can
I mean,
you-
Dennis
after
Hopper's a
they just,
hero,
like,
but
after they
Dennis
just took
Hopper
out the
isn't.
President of the World, cats. How can you make a legitimate sequel without at least touching on like that level of like fucking what?
9/11?
Yeah, how's 9/11 saving the world? I mean,
Which is awesome.
it's the Empire, I guess. So, like, I guess that
And
makes
George
sense.
Bush is there. Thank you, Dennis Hopper. You did it. You saved America.
Mission
once again.
accomplished. Yeah. Now that okay. What happens on their trucking quest? What is happening before 9/11? Like, what exactly is occurring? I guess.
It's
A lot of
awesome.
people are shorting
It's literally just fucking like
stocks.
just like they're just like on their way to
Oh,
deliver a
sick.
fucking load
And it's
or
just
whatever.
him and the
He's just-
bimbo,
He's
right?
just
It's-
arguing with the wife, and he just like fucking beats up a guy at a truck stop, and he just eats a hot dog that makes him shit himself to death. It's just like mostly trucker scenes. It's just intercut.
But it's him and his wife.
It's
It's
straight
just,
up
it's two
space
characters. It's just
What?
the two characters, right?
Just those two, and just like whoever they're meeting, like maybe they keep coming back to one rest stop, and you just see them like slowly getting beaten down by the system as they keep going back to that rest stop, and like fucking all the protesters are outside. Maybe he punches a protester and says like, "I'm fucking trying to make my living." And later
You
on,
see the
at the end
change.
of
You
the
see
movie,
the
he's like, "Man, I'm sorry. I'm
the
sorry.
uphill battle
I'm
by the
sorry,
size
I
of the
offended
poops he's
you."
sleeping.
And then he drives into the towers.
By the amount of like how much mess he makes in the bathroom, like how much spray of diarrhea gets on the wall. That's how you know how he's
Yeah,
doing.
no, you can.
Yeah,
tell,
you
like,
see the
so
bottle of
badly. And then he
Adderall,
just like
and it's
eventually
like-
just
it's-
like sprays. Like I said,
slimming
earlier,
down.
two cheek phenomena. He's
Like,
like
he
he just like squats down real fast and has like two cheeks
He
barely
misses,
spread on
like-
the top level
yeah.
of the toilet seat, and just like sprays these two twin tower lines.
No,
You
not
know what
even.
this
Not
movie
even. Like
needed?
he
That reminds
pulls
me
his
of what-
pants and just sits down and just misses the seat completely and just sprays shit like underneath the stalls into like and like just covers everyone's socks that are like washing.
Well,
their
that's part
hands.
of it. I'm just saying, like, if he did like accidentally spray like twin tower shit on the back of the wall and probably the back of his shirt, and just turns around and just starts playing like it's like fucking oh shit, I gotta take it out.
He's
Like,
wiping
this
his hands
is a
against.
sign. This is like
That
Mother
sounds
Mary
like a good
appearing in
scene.
my toast.
That sounds like a good scene. It also makes me think that one thing this movie missed out on as far as an opportunity is truckers pee in bottles, and it really would have been great for him to pee in a bottle and there's in zero gravity. I
Dude,
think
that's a great joke. Like that's a great like fucking future joke though, where he pisses in the bottle and then he just like puts it through the tube and it comes out the other tube and it's Gatorade and he just drinks it.
Oh yeah, something like that. Like that'd be great.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, been very easy. Like
just like because like the way the microwave is just like it senses what you're cooking and it just says 45 seconds will do or whatever. Like fucking it's the same thing. He just like he pisses in the bottle, he puts the bottle in the fucking like a bag.
It's weird they didn't do that because that's easy. Or it would have been like
out and it's Gatorade.
Like when they're like really hot or like before he leaves to like fix the coolant or whatever, she should have been like, "Oh, thank God, something to drink." Is like, I wouldn't. Good.
On that subject though, to point out another great line in this movie, I love like in the middle bit where they're like, "Why don't you have a refrigerator?" And he's like, he just goes like a fucking 45-second rant about options. I don't buy options.
I don't buy options.
Like, fuck yeah, I agree. I agree.
No, that was a great like it was little things like that. Okay. I'm warming up a little bit to your movie, but I don't really get what the first fucking hour of the movie is, and the wife character so far isn't a character in it, and I don't know how their dynamic.
She's not a character, and that's what's fun about her.
Okay, I want to know. Okay, we're gonna go back to Brent. I want to know like a general kind of thing about what happens in the first 2 acts of the film. How the wife character involves herself in the plot whatsoever, and how like she's actually like used in the story, and kind of what they're doing, and I don't know how you.
Are you giving me a fucking Bechdel test, Tina, or Talina?
No,
Are you making me try to put 2 female characters in a room one time, not talking about a male character?
If she's gonna be the nagging wife, I
refuse to represent. You're asking me to represent.
It has to be somewhat interesting because right now it's basically just Dennis Hopper is just going around and he has his bitch there, and she's just being a bitch.
I will do what you want me to do, but I will leave you with this argument. You really want to see a movie with less Dennis Hopper and more his wife?
I liked the dynamic that Dennis Hopper had with the other characters in this movie, and I think that basing the movie solely off of Dennis Hopper. Okay, but I'm not getting. The thing is, the main thing is I'm not getting the first 2 acts. I know, I don't know how the movie starts and how it even gets into the fucking like main driver of like the end.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. Go to Grant.
I want some more detail.
Did a fly just go by someone's mic?
No.
I heard a fly go new.
Dude, that was just my brilliant idea passing over Katz's head.
That was my interest level just sapping, just going down.
Because
fucking going down. It's fucking shit.
Okay. So we got Dennis Hopper and his dumb bimbo wife, and they're driving around.
He just totally stole a giant plot line from me. Just saying.
Sounds like it.
So
you never mentioned the bimbo wife. Just saying.
The opening I think would be pretty easy because essentially you already have the opening already made for you. I think what we do want to change though is the President of Earth stays on Earth, and Chainsaw Robot Dick guy is kind of like on a command post out somewhere. He's like, we're sending the last of the robots, but I must tell you, it's like I don't trust you, President. So I'm sending the activation pod last. But I will be there to intercept it beforehand, so no tricky business. And the president does some tricky business by, having the post office shuffle the bombs around the Kaczynski's mailing. So instead of going to, millionaires and actual businesses, it just goes to, Dennis Hopper ends up getting the package because one of his last stops will be at Earth. But he should still arrive before our general bad guy does. So the B plot will be the general bad guy, on his far end of the universe, going angry driving and hitting space puppies and space ladies.
So you want to see him more? He's at the beginning of the movie, but he has more stuff. Okay, I get that.
He's gonna have a ship and people and the robots will be there, and he's just trashing planets, and then
he has a very short run in the movie. I don't mind having more of him, honestly. So
I think we should. He seems like he was really good. He should be doing fucked up experiments. Yeah, they're stopping at places, and it's time to test the new weapons on these children. Make him just ridiculously evil.
Yeah, and he's on their tail, and they run into him every now and then throughout the series, kind of thing. Okay.
And they're never really sure what he wants until the end. And it's oh, it all makes sense now, the robots. But yeah, the first episode would be just kind of all that happening. He gets the package, and then someone's like, man, I just can't do it. I quit. This union just ain't enough. And Dennis is like, ooh, do I hear a job? I could always add another trailer onto my truck, sure. And so he picks that up, and that's like where it all fucks everything.
Be the fucking theme song.
Sure.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a good one. I don't know too much trucker music, sadly, but you would just do that. He picks up a job and it fucks everything up for the
Convoy by Conway Twitty.
Because suddenly, like, all the shit gets fucked up, and like he loses like trailers on this first mission. Is like he flies, he lands, he barely gets it. Just like this one, he's 2 days late or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the first episode, there it is. I wouldn't say we bring in the pirates yet. I would say it would just be like him picking up this extra job at the station, and then like 15 minutes of them at the station, establishing characters. He picks up the job, the package gets mixed in. He loses most of his shit, so he's kind of like now he's broke. He's out in space with his crew. And he's only got like these last few things to drop off, and that's all he has to do. And then you just kind of like from there you could add on to the stuff that we want.
Okay, so one more important question. You got to hook me. You got how do you hook me at the end of this episode to where I want to watch the second one? Because the first hook in like the episode in a show is probably the most important.
That's when we show what the robots can do. I thought it was so stupid that we showed the robots in the beginning. It should have been alluded to. Like, these are deadly monsters. They should have came to, like, the thing and said, whoa, where'd all this goo come from? The last episode would be them, like, driving by the test facility, whatever moon they were on that they fucking decimated. And, like, oh, I'm picking up a strange distress signal. And they see the video of, like, bam, 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 bam. And, like, oh, that's the end.
Okay, that's fair. That's a natural cliffhanger to have your first episode end on. Okay. I like it. Dwayne, what do you got?
I added a subplot to explain what you want out of it. Where like fucking the wife's like going with him and stuff, but like also she's been in cryo sleep for however many years and she's still young, hot, and blonde. The only reason she's with him is just because he happened to show up at the right time. So she's just like going to truck stops and she starts getting dicked. And he's like, "Hey, are you like getting dicked?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm getting dicked. Like, I didn't know you said like, am I not supposed to get dicked? I'm a modern woman." He's like, "Ah, shit, I didn't know I signed up to. She's just hot and blonde." So like, he fucking like he's delivering loads and shit, and like after he delivers this giant load for the government, they give him a giant stipend, and he fucking goes and he buys like the fucking Dick 10, which is like the fucking like #1 dick in the universe. Like that's the state of the art dick. And like, and he just like fucking puts that on, just like snaps it on. And then he just goes and, like, gives her the sex of her life. And then, like, they're having a great time just, like, delivering shit for the government, making more and more money for the government. But as the government starts fucking him over and doing shit, like, she fucking, like, meets some dude who has the Dick 11. And he sees that look in her eye, and he's like, "I can't afford the Dick 11.
He's got 3 extra balls. So now she's like,
and she just leaves him for the Dick 11. And that's when he goes and does a 9/11.
So
there's your character.
He bases this mostly off of his inadequacy as male. Is that what you're saying?
It's like the Ted Kaczynski movie, right? It's like that combined because like his fucking family was falling apart and like all this shit like combined. It's that combined with the government keeps fucking him over, combined with he kind of misses his friends. And he like kind of fucking wishes he could have done something about it and regrets just like taking the government gig for the money so he could buy the Dick 10.
Yeah, that's fair because I mean, what was 9/11?
Like fucking, and as he's like driving into the towers, playing Eastbound Down, turns it up on the radio, rolls down the fucking window, and fucking his face is being sucked in the face. Throws it out the window and plows into the towers.
That's fair because what was 9/11 besides one of the biggest compensations for a penis in history? I mean, really, when you think about it, it was a very phallic kind of. What?
Well, the great George Carlin, bullets look like dicks.
Yeah.
And 9/11 was part of that, man. Big dick.
9/11 was the biggest dick move probably that ever happened. That is fair.
And
I like the analogy.
Towers look like dicks too, dude. That was fucking Star Wars.
It was,
literally fucking banging dicks.
And the thing is, that's why it's the most emasculating because it was a dick slapping another dick down. It was like, no, you will not wave.
And we got dick down by a smaller dick.
Smaller dick
down.
No, that smaller dick fucking took our dick down. It was like, you're not gonna big dick. I'm gonna take both of them down. The additional joke though is because like this is this man's truck and he had the giantest load in the galaxy at that point. So he just rolls through Tower 1 and Tower 2 for like 30 seconds. Okay.
And just bursts into flames.
Yeah, Dwayne, you're appealing to a lot of my heart here with the 9/11 stuff. I want to. That's pretty much perfect for me. But I'm gonna have to give it to Brand. Yeah. I think Space Truckers as a show, like Brant didn't put as much effort, honestly, into it as you, and he didn't put as much appealing towards me. I appreciate all of the 9/11 that you threw my way, but I can't pass down Space Truckers as a show because honestly, I can.
That would have been a good
show.
show. I will give it as a good show.
Yeah.
I will give it.
Like I said, all I've been doing is watching Farscape, and that's kind of all it is Space Truckers, but more gay and more Star Trek. And I was like, man, I wish these guys were just truckers.
Every space movie made in the modern era is basically Space Truckers, but more gay because everything's gay now. We're just gayer now.
Yeah,
we're just gay.
Space is gay now, apparently.
Space is wicked gay.
Thanks,
Space
Elon.
is so gay.
So fucking gay.
Like NASA proved it. Like they put out a logo for exactly 1 month out of every year where they're like,
it's a little musky up there now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like space is just one big taint sack now. I don't know.
A lot of virgins.
Milky Way, really?
Virgin Mobile.
Okay.
Virgin Mobile guy, virgins. Oh, my turn.
Yeah, let's hear it.
We're watching, I was thinking about some movies we've seen recently. We watched Fight Club not too while ago, and I was like, man, Edward Norton is a wonderful actor. And I think...
Are we doing American History X?
We're doing Death to Smoochie.
Interesting. I've never seen that one before.
What even
I've
heard of that movie.
My Robin Williams filmography.
John Stewart, David.
No, John Stewart. Was Robin Williams in it?
Yeah, Robin's in it too. He's the side guy,
right?
Edward Norton.
No, he's not Smoochie. Edward Smoochie.
Ooh, interesting.
It's a very good movie.
I don't know anything about this. I've heard that name before, but this doesn't look familiar. What's so fucking?
It was another giant failure.
It's surprisingly, I don't know why people don't like it. I love Death to Smoochie personally. I think it's a great movie. It's both an interesting thriller, comedy, and like a lot of weird gang stuff is in it too.
Okay, and directed by Danny DeVito. Yeah, $50 million budget, $8.3 million box
by John
office.
Stewart. How does John Stewart factor into it?
He's in it.
He's in it. He's an actor in it apparently.
Yeah.
Death of Smoochie. I'm down for that one. That's a movie that I should have seen by now.
It's been a minute since we did a movie like this. Also, like we did like more kind of just like, I don't know, like failure Hollywood movies that actually had some decent budgets. We haven't done one of those in a minute. So yeah. I'm fine with this.
Well, Superman
better
3.
known.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, but like we have this is like Pluto Nash. This is Pluto Nash territory.
This is a star-studded disaster, and it didn't deserve to be it. I'm gonna fucking read. This is a great movie. There's a retarded Irish guy in it. The Irish mafia is a part of it as well. And they go against like the Italian mafia Korean mafia. There's this part with
doing some white wars.
There's a lot of phallic imagery, and it's all based around a children's show, and it's great. It's all just so great.
Dope.
I think it was just before its time.
It is interesting that Danny DeVito has actually, like, he hasn't directed that many movies, but every movie that he's directed,
but the ones he has are like fucking wow. He did
like
that?
Throw Mama from the Train is pretty well known. War of the Roses is like fairly well known. Also, Matilda, Duplex.
Yeah,
Hoffa.
Matilda is one of those where I'm like, damn, that was fucking Danny DeVito.
That's interesting. Yeah, no, he's got something going.
He's
for him.
Danny DeVito's kind of. Didn't he do Hoffa?
Yeah, he did Hoffa apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Danny DeVito's kind of a legend. He's kind of a legend.
That is pretty cool. Like, good for him, man. I mean, like he had to get up on a step stool to even look through the camera, probably. I mean, good.
He just had someone pick him up.
Don't be fucking racist. They were low angle shots.
So you come in, Mr. DeVito.
Mr. DeVito, how does it look? They pick him up, put him on the shoulders. Like, how does it look, Mr. DeVito? Yeah.
Yeah, they just have like a little fucking like back step. They just have like two dudes lay on each other's backs or whatever.
That looks great. I love it.
Just like crunch.
Where's the PAs? Where's the camera PAs? It's just them, yeah. To hold them up. But yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm looking.
Man, that's the thing though is like fucking. We probably just all like sullied our chance to ever work with Danny DeVito now because like if you notice,
I think he's gonna die.
It's Always Sunny never once in fucking nearly 20 years of hard offensive jokes never once even mentioned he was short.
This is true. I was
Because
say,
Danny DeVito
like
doesn't
that's
like
not
that.
he doesn't fucking like it. Probably. You'd think he would. Like with his personality, you'd think he wouldn't give a shit. But I mean,
Nah, I guess that could be like
can
the
see
one
it.
thing he's like, I'm actually sore about it. I don't like
Yeah.
it being brought up.
Well, it's
And
also
like, I bet
because
you wish you
Hollywood
got
is
brought
constantly
up.
surrounded by yes men, and they're like, "Oh no, there's nothing funny about being short, dude. There's nothing fucking funny about that. Are you kidding me?" So like, he just eventually internalized, like, "How could you make fun of the fact that I'm short? We've decided that."
He was like in college when that Randy Newman short people got and he was like, God damn
Danny
it.
DeVito wants to kill Randy Newman. Like when
So,
Randy Newman
well, everyone
goes,
does.
we better know where Danny DeVito was.
let's see. Yeah. His Wikipedia. Oh no, actually, okay. His Wikipedia bio. I keyworded short. One of the shorts is short films, but it comes up with the short but domineering.
Which short films are every movie directed by Danny DeVito?
Yes.
He just had to.
It describes him as short but domineering. He also appeared in the short film. DeVito's short.
That's what they tell
stature-
me about my dick.
Let's see. Okay, the only time they actually say they only say it once. Danny DeVito's short stature is a result of multiple Fairbanks disease, dysplasia, whatever it is, a rare genetic disorder that affects bone growth. So we only got one reference of Danny DeVito being short
How
in
tall
his
is he?
personal life.
Like 4'11",
He is
5'2"?
4'10". 4'10".
4'10".
Yeah. He's a small little guy.
Dude, my
Well,
mom
it's got a
could
good
go toe to
beach.
toe with that nigga.
Who would win?
There's my hard R.
think-
We'll see. I
Against
didn't even
Dwayne's
intend
mom
that.
or Danny DeVito.
I think
Danny
Cindy would
DeVito has a
win.
lot of fucking.
I think
he's
Cindy can
stout.
fucking win. I think Cindy could do it, honestly.
My mom don't fight, dude. I don't know if my mom's ever been in a fight.
She strikes me as like she could have some serious anger come out if she really
She-
wanted to.
Yeah, no, but you wouldn't expect it. That's like the power. That's the power of a woman like that. Is
And
like,
she doesn't
you
have
don't
the
expect
but she doesn't
her
have the
start
body to
fucking
follow
plowing.
through with it either. She's
Yeah.
very
A
frail.
hitter. My mom's not a hitter.
No, I could see that.
No.
Your mom seems like a kicker. She's probably like
My
my
mom was raised by people. My mom was raised
think
by
she's
people
more
who
like
sing
that.
songs in the car on the way to family road trips.
Yeah.
That
My
is
mom-
that is not a hitter.
I've scared my mom before, and she has a flight or fight response. And when I've scared her to the point where she like thought that she was actually in danger, she turned around and just kicked me in the shins as hard as she could.
Your mother?
Yeah, no, she's kicked
Damn,
me in the
dude. Like
shins.
I get that from Kathy, but doing that on her own son, dude, like that's
Oh,
some fuck shit.
My mom gets
She
like
went for the
she gets
balls.
scared. Like it's I don't know. There was one time when I
Sure.
walked into the kitchen and she was just doing dishes. I walk up, it's like 5 feet away from her, and I just go, "Hey!" She busts out crying. She goes, "Ah! You scared me!" She just starts crying, and I'm just like, "Oh God, I'm never gonna do this again. I'm so sorry." it was
It's not
actually
even
a
that
little-
bad.
No,
Well, you
it
didn't
was-
like have a loaded. You didn't like shoot a loaded gun off
all I did
behind
was say,
her.
"Hey." I literally just said, "Hey."
Hey.
I said it in like a low voice, I guess, but it was it was. I felt really bad, and I also thought it was hilarious. But yeah, no, never scare Kathy. Never scare her. She scares
Duly
me
noted.
easily.
Duly noted.
It's a little too easily. But on that note,
I'm
Was
excited
there
for
current
Death of
events?
Smoochie. Don't
Yeah, Death of
scare
Smoochie.
Kathy's mom.
don't scare Katz's mom. Death of Smoochie. Any
Death of
recent
Smoochie.
events
We're
that
out.
yeah,
Let's
should we
go.
talk about abortion, gay marriage?
Grant,
and what-
this is when you deep throat a
Yeah.
corn dog, Grant.
Come on, Brand.
this
You
is-
got
this
any corn
when you
dog
do it.
left? Do it.
Where's your next corn?
Get-
Just
I want
eat
you
the
to eat
stick.
that stick.
Eat the
Eat the
stick.
fucking stick.
Eat
Come
the
on.
stick.
It's been greased down. It's fine. It's basically edible at this point. At least crunch it up. Come on. Okay.
Grant, we've all
Okay.
I'm already worried about
Yes.
you. Grant,
No,
when was
I
the
love
last
it.
time you saw a dentist?
Yes. Okay, we're done.